and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Admansky, and I'm here today with...
Justin McClue.
Wow, calling Papa Roach Cunningham.
Cut my life in two pieces. Wow. Wait, is there a Papa Roach song in this?
Oh, there's two.
Oh, yeah, there is.
There's two.
Right at the end credits.
Yeah.
When it pulls back.
We're going back to new metal country this week. Talking
April's
about
favorite vacation place.
yeah.
Or does she live there?
New metal town.
It's funny because this came out like the year after Queen of the Damned.
2001.
A lot of the same songs or same bands.
2001.
Yeah. So this was Colin's pick, correct?
Yeah. I don't know why. It wasn't even on my list. Usually I have like a list of movies that we have to get to or whatever, but...
You just randomly thought of it.
You just woke up in the middle of the night and you were like, Jet Li's the one!
I have always wanted to see this movie because
I've never seen it.
I heard it was ridiculous. I knew it was about multiple Jet Lis, but I remembered that there was an exploding mouse in it, and that's all I remembered.
Do you remember that? Because I posted it online on Twitter.
Probably.
That's what you posted.
Yeah, I posted it. I said, the best music cue ever.
Yeah, it is, by the way. Yeah, and I think... it was like probably you, Justin, and Peter always talking about the ending, which I won't spoil yet, but I will say, I don't know, it is my favorite thing about the movie.
It is what
by
it
far.
is.
And I think that made the movie sound way better than it actually is.
I never big time this movie. I was always like, yeah, it's all right. It's very blue.
I think it was just the ending. You're like, well, it ends with blah, blah, blah. And then I was
that sounds
that
exactly
sounds
like
amazing.
Peter.
Okay.
That sounds something like Peter would say.
Yeah, it might have been Peter. Okay.
But I mean, we just watched this an hour ago, and I really liked it. I mean,
It sounded like April was coming in a little bit cold. Then she's like, I love this movie. It's so good.
What?
No, I liked it. I'm not saying it's a fantastic movie, but
Okay.
I think it was really fun. But we'll get into reasons
Yeah.
why. Starring Jet Li.
I should say, though, that this is a movie that if you saw the trailer, you saw every good part of the movie.
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
had every gag in it.
Yeah. This is directed by James Wong, who I know has he come up on the podcast before? He did.
Yeah, Dragon Ball.
Oh, right. Okay, he and his partner Glenn Morgan worked on the X-Files. They've directed a bunch of stuff. Glenn Morgan directed
Final
Black
Destination.
Christmas and The Willard with Crispin Glover.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, James Wong directed this. Final Destination 1 and 3, I think.
Yeah.
No, he only did one. I don't think he came back. Oh, no, you're right. He did do 3.
Okay.
Because there was the Choose Your Own Adventure version on DVD. That's what triggered the memory in my mind.
I never saw 3. I think I've seen all the other Final Destinations except 3.
It's
for some
okay.
reason.
It's
That's the
not-
roller coaster one, right?
Yeah, that's a roller coaster one.
I've actually never, or have I seen the first one? It came out so long ago. I can't remember.
That's where James Wong has been. He's been in the American Horror Story mine since 2011.
That's right. Okay. Okay. Well, this movie, this is probably what Jet Li's second North American movie. Was it after
Romeo?
Romeo Must Die?
Well, Kiss of the Dragon, but that was a French production as well.
Okay.
So
And then there was Unleashed, and that was
that was a long time. That sat on a shelf for a long time. That was
Yeah.
another Luc Besson
And then they
produced film.
unleashed it to the world.
Louis Leterrier, I think, directed that.
I don't know.
Yeah, soon in Fast X, he not ghost directed, came on afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know really anything about Jet Li, I'm sorry to say, and I've seen hardly any of his movies.
Well, he was a Olympic competitor, I think, in kind of forms, basically. Very famous from a very young age, and he was in Shaolin Temple in 1982. That's how long he's been doing this.
Wow.
When did he get kind of his big break? I'm looking here. Oh, Once Upon a Time in China in 1991. The Choi Hark film kind of blew him up.
I've seen that because, I think my roommates, when I went to college, showed me all these kung fu films. That's why I learned about Jackie Chan and all this sort of stuff. So I think I saw Once Upon a Time in China.
Is his
then Black Mass.
is he just a martial arts action star in China and here? He's known for just doing action
absolute.
movies. Also, is his real name Jet?
No.
Because that's the coolest name ever. I mean,
No, it's
come
not.
on.
I'm not going to try to pronounce his Mandarin name because I would get it incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
And he really popped off in Lethal Weapon 4 in 1998.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what led to Romeo Must Die and him starring in that movie.
Right, okay.
I think I've only seen Hero as far as Jet Li movies
Lethal Weapon
go.
4, a completely unproblematic movie.
Oh,
It's not
God.
racist at all.
It is horrible.
Hey.
What a
I
horrible,
also
horrible
haven't
movie.
seen any of the Lethal Weapons. Should we watch
Oh, the
them?
first one's great.
First and
I
second
can't
one. I
believe-
think are
Christmas
great.
movie.
They made it all the way to 4.
Yeah, they made the third and
They
fourth.
keep threatening 5.
No!
They-
Danny Glover is not that old. Even though that's his whole shtick in the first
Yeah.
one. But he's like, I'm too old for
I
this
think
shit.
just with the,
I'm 23.
I know Mel Gibson's still working, but I think the problematicness probably will not result in.
But the brand is still strong, even though the TV show had a huge problematic streak as
Yeah,
well.
that's right.
What? Who was in that?
Some Australian actor who was a huge piece of shit that
Playing
he's
the Mel
banned
Gibson,
from
Mel Gibson
Yeah.
character. And then
the Mel Gibson curse.
Damon Wayans, I think, was playing
Yep. And
Murtaugh.
Damon Wayans like, I refuse to act with this guy
know
again
about
anymore.
this.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Well,
released clips.
you are not a
online.
grandmother who watches the Lethal Weapon TV show.
But anyway, the one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when this trailer came out, this was 2 years after The Matrix.
Yeah.
And then you see the trailer and you're like, how dare you? How dare you call your movie The One? It's like such
And
a
it's
such a
so
ripoff.
much like The Matrix as well.
Yeah, I mean they're doing the bullet time, they're doing like the speed ramping and slow mo and all this sort of crap.
And it all looks great. really do.
Well,
feel
the
like
big
that.
trailer moment, there were two. It was the opening scene where he's moving so fast, everyone else is in slow motion. And if you look online, you can find a clip of Jet Li hitting green ping pong balls. It's very funny.
I gotta see that. But
And also the scene of him catching 2 bikes in his hands
Right,
and then like
yeah.
smashing someone with them.
Yeah.
I mean, like this happens in like the opening scene.
Yes,
And
this is the best scene of the movie in the opening scene.
I
first of
really
all-
do think it looked great. The him being fast and them being slow.
what?
No, it looks smooth. Like
Colin, Mr. Visual Effects.
Well, first of all, let's get to the very beginning in this movie, and you know you're in for a masterpiece when the movie has narration and text on the screen.
Narration from someone we don't know who this is.
Yeah,
I'm sure if we look at the credits, we would learn.
I thought
But
this-
there is not one universe. There are many.
why didn't they get
A
Del Rey Lindo?
multiverse.
Was this a multiverse? So was this like the first time anyone on screen said multiverse?
I mean, Quantum Leap probably.
I don't know.
No, Quantum Leap is not a multiverse. He's jumping through time, isn't he?
Oh,
Yes.
okay, Sliders then.
Yes, Sliders has multiverses.
But did they say
Correct.
like multiverse?
They might not
Yes,
say.
they do.
I think they probably did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
never even heard of multiverse until like I don't know.
Bro, you dig on multiverses? That's a quote
Well,
from Wish Upon.
yes, they try to rescue the multiverse from the Cro-Mag dynasty. I just searched Sliders multiverse. That's the first thing that came
Okay.
up.
Cro-Mag
all right.
Dynasty.
Yes.
I used to watch
We all know that,
show
of course.
Big time.
It was John Rhys Davies, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I used to love
John
love
Rhys
that show.
Davies and Jerry
Jerry
O'Connell.
Anyway,
So yeah, we're shown the different universes with amazing CGI. So there's just like I don't know. Didn't it say like infinite universes or something? Or
yeah,
I don't know.
But it's not infinite because there's only 124 Jet Lis.
Lis. But
So you know the opening, how we know this is a different universe, right?
how?
Because Al Gore just passed universal health care on you see a television
And he's
saying
the
that.
president.
He's
the president,
Gore.
yes.
Yeah, so it feels more like a kind of time cop setup where it was like, travel between the multiverses are heavily regulated and policed by, I don't know.
This was very time clock. My also question: was this based on the comic book?
The one?
Seems
no.
like it would be.
No.
I don't believe
think it was
is.
based
No.
on a movie called The Matrix.
It's
Yes.
based on Time Cop.
Yeah, it's like if time
How can we get a movie with the most Matrix-related things, please, as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
You know what the weird thing of having Jet Li play all these roles is that, like, he's not a very versatile actor.
No.
So it's weird to cast him. It's like, he'll play all these different people. There's not much difference.
No.
Well,
it's just-
he's good at playing the two main, but I mean the other. There aren't really any other ones other than in this opening scene.
Yeah, you kind of see them in the background.
Well,
but-
you see a photo of, like, Jet Li with dreadlocks.
Which, oh my god.
Jet Li as a surfer dude with blonde hair.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a scene where they're like, Jet Li, let's just try on funny wigs and hats.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
That's the scene.
But yeah, he's on trial for murdering. So basically, the setup is the evil Jet Li is jumping from multiverse to multiverse to kill each version of himself. And every time one of himself, a Jet Li dies, their energy is distributed amongst the remaining Jet Lis.
So, Highlander rules.
Yeah, exactly. And they even have
also ripped off Highlander.
the line at the end during the fight. He's like, "There can be only one."
Yeah.
Oh, does he say
Yeah.
that?
He does say that.
Like, come on.
But like it opens up in this prison, and
April's like, I love this.
they're taking this prisoner. I liked Highlander quite a bit.
Yeah. We see Hank Schrader, Dean Norris here.
Yeah,
Yes.
Just a bunch
small
of cops.
cameo. But yeah, so they go and pick up Jet Li, and he's lobotomized, and he's kind of doing.
Is that what's
Well, he had a big
implied?
scar on his, or maybe he just.
No,
got
he's not
hit on the
lobotomized.
head.
He's just like, he's trying to be like a badass. He's like, ugh.
Well, he's all like
But no,
That's what he
he's
looks
like
like.
and
moving around like he's.
No, he's not
blind or
supposed to be. No, he's not.
Yes, he had a big scar on his head.
he did.
Yeah,
But
because he's supposed to be, because he's like frowning. Like that's the idea.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought he was.
April sees anyone with a scar and she's like,
telling you.
Colin, I believe that person is lobotomized.
No,
Go back.
He
and
did.
Watch.
He had a scar.
I'm watching it right now in front of me right now.
He had a scar
Like,
in his like prefrontal
because someone
lobe.
throws a knife at him and he dodges and then kicks the thing.
No, I thought
he's not lobotomized.
I'm talking about the guy that is in the prison.
Yes,
No, okay,
that's who I'm
but I
talking
don't
about.
know.
No, he's
in that scene, he kicks the thing to show how strong he is.
Yeah,
Right.
but
'Cause he
before they even
dodges.
take him out of the room, he looks up and he has a scar right on his forehead.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
So I assumed when April said, "Oh, he's lobotomized," I'm like, okay, because he acts like it the entire scene. He's like twitching and kind of like,
Yeah, like he doesn't know what's going on.
Maybe he's
I think he's just supposed to be kind of like gangsterlish.
okay. Maybe he's just a bad
Because
actor.
Dean North reaches up and he goes, "You want that thumb?"
Yeah.
Like because he gets too close to him.
Right. So they pat him up. They put like a bulletproof vest on him. They're taking him out. All the prisoners want to kill him. One guy like whips a knife at him, and then he kicks the
Whips a
bars
shank.
of the prison, and then he like dents the bars. The bars bend, and they really hold on
So we're
that
like,
to show
whoa.
you, like, what's going on. They take him down to the
So
loading bag.
the
It's
movie originally, you didn't know what was going on at the beginning. There wasn't that intro, and the studio added it at the last second.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I mean, I
imagine
can-
if it would be better or worse without that intro.
Well, you would have seen the trailers. I think you would have gotten the gist of it. But then again,
Right.
as filmmakers, you just have to do it as if the person is just stumbling on the movie and taking it in
Yeah.
in this go.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at the opening credit explainer.
yeah, I guess I
I
kind of
mean, because you were jumping to your feet when the other Jet Li shows up and the music starts.
Yeah.
Let the bodies hit the
Oh my
floor.
god, I used to love that song, and it's a perfect deployment.
still love it.
Yeah, okay, maybe it's the perfect deployment of that song because he's fighting everybody at different speeds, and their bodies are hitting the floor.
So the problem for anyone who was on the internet in 2001 is that you watched 1,000 videos with this song on it, whether it be anime compilations or stick death fight scenes.
Oh
yeah,
my
it was
God.
kind of everywhere.
remember
at this
Stick
time.
Death?
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, like I said, I like the effect of people moving at different speeds in the frame. You
Yeah,
know,
so-
that's done very well now with like Quicksilver and the
he's
X-Men
moving. Yeah, he's
movies.
moving it like normal. This is like 2001. The one thing I will say about this movie, my God, the effects, even for 2001, I feel are very, very dated.
I don't think they look bad, but definitely dated.
Yeah, they feel like they feel more like
I mean, I've
mid
seen
90s
worse.
effects.
Yeah,
I would
they
say.
do not look good.
No.
Well, my favorite thing is in this scene, and it is the wire work. I think it looks. I'm not joking. I think it's fantastic, guys. Like, come on. There's really, really good wire work in this movie, and
There's no wire work in this scene.
But I think
I don't. Oh, there's a little bit where he
yeah.
tosses. No, because when he starts punching the people, they're all CG doubles.
Yeah, but I think when he kind
Okay.
of jumps down from.
Yeah, he jumps down. Well, this film was choreographed by Kuri Yun, who's a very famous action
Yeah, that's
choreographer
right.
there's
in Hong Kong. And he was Jet Li's guy. That like any movie Jet Li worked on, Kuri Yun would sometimes do the whole film, or sometimes just the scenes Jet Li were in,
Oh, okay.
like in the Expendables movies.
Well, there's just so many good fight choreography scenes in this movie.
You know what's not good? When Jet Li runs out and he's supposed to go super speed.
Yeah, and he looks like he's running normally, and the guy goes, he's doing 50.
Well, like the film goes blurry around him.
Yeah, they kind of have this weird
That
video.
looks bad.
They have this weird video effect, and
it's like we didn't figure it out.
yeah, it's like, well, they'll come up with some effect in post, and they didn't really shoot it properly, and then
Do you know who figured out a fun way to do that practically? And I hate to give props to Mr. Len Wiseman,
Yeah, the Underworld
director
movies.
of the Underworld movies. I don't know if you've ever seen it, where they had a mat that was attached to a car, and the car was driving, and the person would run on the mat. So they were going. It's kind of like the principle of a moving sidewalk, and it worked really well in the film.
I haven't seen that since it came out, but
Yeah.
That movie's terrible.
yeah, that sounds interesting. Just
yeah, I
from a
remember
technical
that
standpoint.
and watching the behind the scenes. It's very effective.
Cool.
This is something where they just like shot him running, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay,
It looks like the $60 million man. like
worse. Are you kidding? But he's like, I love that he's looking at the people in the cars as he's passing them, like he's going
Yeah.
super
and they're all
fast.
like, "Whoa!"
And then the cop goes, "Whoa, he's going 50." Jet Li, he's a very short man. So this is.
I never realized quite how short he is, but
Yeah.
he's shorter than Carla Gugino
he's about her size,
by a little
I think.
bit. Yeah. Which is fine.
And speaking of cops, we're introduced to the two lead cops of this movie,
Delroy Lindo and Jason Statham.
Jason Statham
with hair.
With hair.
With hair and an American accent.
Oh,
And
It's really
I will
bad.
say it is probably one of the worst accents I've ever heard.
Well, the thing is, it's like I can't not hear him.
Jerry
like,
Butler would like
normally.
to have a word, Colin.
Well, like his normal, Cockney is in my brain. So when
Yeah.
I think when he thinks he's not doing it, he's still doing it. At
Yeah.
least in my brain.
it is so...
You guys need to see Lorenzo's Oil, where Nick Nolte does an insane Italian accent the entire time.
I just want to see a clip of it. I don't want to watch the whole movie. But,
No.
but yeah, I gotta
It's
hear.
Lorenzo Oil.
I gotta hear.
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly how he sounds.
Oh,
but he
this
has
is
that like
amazing.
gruff Nick Nolte-ness to him.
Wasn't that George Miller?
Imagine. Yeah.
Yep, that's George Miller, Mad Max himself.
Nick, do you want to sit with the dialect coach?
I'm guessing you're doing a George Miller episode, Justin, because you've been watching a lot of
for the Important
Millers.
Cinema Club.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Something that will have probably come out by the time that this episode is out.
Definitely.
For the Important Cinema Club.
Seeing Jason Statham with hair, that's bad enough. And with this accent, it's just absurd. It's like, the only accent he can do is just like a really thick New York accent to try to hide that like Cockney. And
It's just
man,
not
it is not working.
And he had a dialect coach.
Yeah, he had a credit at the end.
Did he?
We saw
Yeah.
it in the credits.
It was like
yeah.
dialect coach for Mr. Lee and then dialect coach for Mr. Statham.
Yeah.
The person was probably just sitting down counting money, and they're like, "Yeah, that's good, Jason."
Yeah. Good enough.
I'm trying to remember, was he American in Ghosts of Mars?
He was, right?
No, he wasn't. I don't know. I don't believe so.
I thought he was,
But I could be
Can't
mistaken.
really remember. He definitely had some hair in that, though. So it was around the same time.
Yeah.
He was still clinging up, but like he's obviously balding. So
Just shave it off.
yeah,
Never do any
always
other
get-
accent.
Balding men always get to this point where they try for a little bit, but then they just go. It has
It's
to all go.
he's trying to live
Everything
up to
must
those
go.
Hollywood, those unrealistic Hollywood ideals of got to have a full head of hair and an American accent.
Yeah, and I mean Statham in this is good. He's just like reactionary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's nothing. He's just kind of like a placeholder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's-
Delroy Lindo has a little more heart.
Well, Delroy Lindo cannot give a bad performance.
No,
it's just
he's,
impossible for him to do that.
Yeah.
He's great, and it's funny that he's the one. Knowing Jason Statham now is like this big action star, but like Delroy Lindo gets to fight Jet Li in this movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? That was just bizarre.
I mean, they both get their asses kicked by Jet Li multiple times.
Yeah, but the funny thing is they show up. They appear in this like 60s muscle car. They kind of pull up in front of camera and they're talking. They have these like futuristic guns that like
They look bad.
all the tech in this
too.
movie look really
Their little watches.
time copy. Like it's
Yeah.
just that really ugly, cheap looking,
Yeah,
clunky.
and then we're in this like futuristic universe where the time cops are from.
Mm-hmm.
They don't call themselves time cops, but I mean that's kind of what they are. Multiverse cops, say?
Sure, he said like the FBA or something. Or
Yeah,
I can't
and so
remember.
their job is to police stuff like that. I have no idea, but they're searching for this one Jet Li whose name is
The one.
is
Yula.
Yula.
He's the bad Jet Li.
Yeah, so they go through all the different ones that he's killed in this kind of like thing, but also there's this like control panel that looks terrible.
It's so
like
funny.
It's like worse than like 90s 80s Star Trek.
Yeah, it looks like a 1980s like sci-fi TV show console panel. It's so bad.
So they catch him and then they
bring him back.
They're bringing him to go to the penal.
Didn't you love
colony.
the transformation effect when they teleport?
Oh
and they're
my
like,
God.
Their bodies
shaking
like
their head.
rip apart.
But they're just shaking their heads like.
Yeah.
You got to sell it if the effect doesn't work.
That was very amusing.
And I just imagine, as an actor, you're just like, okay, this is gonna look good though, right? Once the effects are on. Absolutely. And when like the VFX people got the footage, they were just watching it on a loop and laughing like in the office.
I don't
That's
think
what Colin does.
I don't think it looked bad. I think it looked silly and very 90s. Like you said.
It looked like something
it's
from
of
the Super
time.
Mario Brothers movie or something.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yes.
Bob Hoskins like, whoa.
Even though this was way later than that. This
Yeah.
is like almost 10 years later.
It probably looks worse. I don't know. But yeah, they're getting torn apart. So
They didn't have the budget.
They're in the Time Cop headquarters here, and they're gonna send Jet Li. You think he's getting executed, but it's like they're gonna send him. It looks like Delroy Lindo is like they've got a history.
They put him in this silver patio chair, and everyone around him is like watching him, like a viewing.
Quote unquote,
You know.
yeah, like getting executed or whatever. But they're really sending him to this like penal colony, and it's like, what's the name of it? The Stygian penal colony, Hades universe.
Well, I don't understand. Not that this matters, but like.
Let's break down the science of this.
What are like the logics of him jumping? Because it's like he has a watch, so they're it's also, how does he have that? Why didn't they just take it away from him? Is there certain windows?
Yeah, it's like the portals kind of just open up.
Yeah,
like,
and he's only allowed to be in them for a certain amount of time, I guess.
I don't know. So it's. Yeah, because he runs into that backyard in the opening, and they kind of grab him, and he gets sucked back. So I don't think you're kind of in control of the portals, as far as I.
So these portals could be happening in our day-to-day life, and we just don't know about them.
Yeah,
guess
they could be
so.
happening right now. There could be another Justin.
Yeah.
It's another Justin recording another podcast right now, because that's what you would be doing.
Yeah, but he has dreadlocks. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he has like different first names, but it's always Declue. It's like
it always.
in this movie, it's like whatever law.
Well, because the first guy was he get killed. It's not Ulaw, it's Lawless.
Lawless.
Because he's a gangster.
And then they had him with like a blonde wig. Yeah, so they put him on trial here.
They're all
and they're showing he's killed like 123 versions of himself, and like one of them has like a blonde wig, and his name is like Sven Law.
One of them has long hair. Like,
Yeah.
it's all just different wigs.
It's so silly.
But they say that there's only one left because after he... Okay, we have to talk about the mouse because this is...
Okay, this is my favorite part.
Okay.
This is
so
insane.
he's put on trial. Is he being executed in this scene?
No, he's being banished to the
Being
Hades universe.
Sent to the
Right, the Hades
prison.
universe.
From which there's
universe.
like, the Stygian penal colony.
But Carla, I can't say her
Carla
last name.
Gugino shows up.
Gugino shows up in on an almost Jessica Rabbit-like
Yes.
getup.
All purple.
Yeah.
Purple lipstick, purple nails, purple dress.
It was the style at the time.
It's not right, though, to have all the exact same shade of purple. Anyway, this is the future, so that's...
You don't know.
Look at the time.
What year is this?
It's not the
who
future.
knows?
It's another dimension
Right.
where they're just more technologically evolved, I guess.
They don't really show the outside of this dimension, do they?
No.
No, I feel if they did, it would be blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, the opening scene, very blue. So you explain this scene because it is so funny.
So she hits a button and
On her
the back
shoe.
of her heel opens up and a mouse with the biggest testicles you have ever seen. They are half of its body.
They are gigantic.
Why?
Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa.
And it has like a string attached.
Oh, he's got like an antenna attached to it. And I think
Yes.
they picked the ball. Like, it's the only way they could tie this antenna onto this mouse is with
To its testicles, you think?
Okay. Are these CGI testicles?
No, they're real testicles.
This mouse actually had balls like that?
I guess.
That
Yes.
can't be true.
Why not?
They just didn't let it jerk off for like at least a month,
Yeah.
and they got huge.
His
I think
mother
it was
mouse told him that if he ejaculated, he would die.
Yeah, it was
like in
a
Bo is Afraid.
mouse is afraid
I
situation.
think it was a practical effect.
I don't think so.
No, why would they give the mouse huge balls?
Why would you
This is
Why would you
Ballgate.
film
Let's
with
get James Hong on the line. Listen,
was
this
probably-
mouse was trained by Willard.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah, that's probably
it's-
true, right? So
It's part of the
Glenn
multiverse.
Morgan,
Wait,
maybe it was like
is it in Ben? Because there's Willard and Ben. And isn't it Ben that's like the white mouse?
The white mouse
There's a white
is
mouse
named
in
Socrates.
No, Socrates. That's right. So this is Socrates.
So, you know,
and it was a little like,
maybe
you know,
Cameo.
maybe Glenn Morgan
Cameo.
kept it from his Willard shoot. Maybe it's obviously it's just a funny gag.
It's just supposed to be funny. Okay.
I mean, if you're a director,
Okay.
and then the mouse wrangler brings all these mice in, you look at this one with
yeah,
big
which one
balls.
do you want? You're a director. You have to make these decisions.
Of course, you pick the one with the big balls.
Okay.
Right? Am I
mystery
wrong?
solved.
But not too big. Like if they were dragging on the ground and propping it
I
up,
just
it
didn't
can't
think
move.
that mice.
That's too big.
Mice are tiny. They can't have balls this big.
Sure they can.
It looks physically impossible.
It would be like
And
if
also, is it a mouse or a rat? I think it's a mouse.
It's a mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it would be like if a human had like testicles the size of basketballs, hanging
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
and then an antenna hanging.
This is
off.
my favorite thing. I don't know if I said it.
The balls?
No,
Wait.
just the mouse itself. No, actually, I'm not going to do the balls. That's too crass. What my favorite thing is the mouse is a bomb, and when it goes off, it goes, "Ooh, wah, bah, bah, bah." And I was like, yeah.
It plays down with the sickness. Yeah,
It's the
perfectly
best.
deployed in music and bombness.
And I have a feeling I don't think I've heard that song. Obviously, I have because I watched Queen of the Damned. But does he do that like 6 times in like 20
they
seconds?
kept looping it.
Okay.
Like he does it, but maybe 3 times in the whole song.
Yeah, and then Jet
or
Li
twice,
breaks
maybe?
loose, and then it feels like they play it like 6 times or something.
They
Like,
do.
I mean, that's the good part, right? That's what we want to hear.
Oh, yeah.
It's
is,
the best
uh,
part.
It's just like the balls. If you have the option, to use it, use it.
Use the best parts. Oh, okay.
I can't. It's so hard to do.
Hey, I did it.
Yeah, you did it. April got the best out of all of us.
It's hard to do.
She is the one.
I am the one.
The high heel mouse. Yeah. So then he escapes. He goes into another universe, and then he kind of winks at Carla Gugino, or vice versa. So
So we don't know who Carla is at this point, but Statham's like, only one place he's going.
Yeah.
So they know where he's going.
there's only one Jet Li left. So then we kind of redo the opening scene of the movie.
Yeah, it's very weird that we just see the same scene again.
Yeah, things are a little.
Only it's different. I
It's-
get
it's a
why they
little
did
different.
it, but now what is it?
Well, this-
George Bush is the president again on
yeah,
the TV.
but it said like President Bush unveils new plan for universal health care, and everyone's
Like, so
cheering.
you're like, well, this isn't our universe.
so everything is like.
Yeah, it has to be a different universe.
Yeah, so this, if you didn't know going in that it was a multiverse, this would be the big twist reveal because you see them going into the
Yeah.
prison cell, and then the camera tilts up, and Jet Li is the cop, like the
At
prisoner.
this point,
is
though,
different.
it's been explained multiple times, so
Mm-hmm.
it's odd to do it this way. Even though I like it. I like the idea behind it, but it's kind of weird.
I don't know if he explained. Well, Jet Li.
We saw the different Jet Lis on the picture thing, so we know
right.
that there's.
Well, they don't really explain why. Maybe I don't know. Whatever.
It's explained like throughout this whole movie multiple times.
Well, they keep
have to
explaining
keep
it, yeah,
telling-
just in case you don't get it.
keep telling
Yeah,
us.
he does have that big speech when he's in the chair. They're like,
Yeah.
any last words?
I will be the one.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like. So we meet Gabe here.
He's the
who
good
is-
cop.
Who is a cop, and there's this scene happens.
In this
again.
scene, what's funny is like, remember all that fun stuff that happened in the previous scene? Yeah, nothing like that happens here. Gabe just backs up on evil Jet Li and he makes him tumble out of the air duct.
Yeah, he like spills out comically. It's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, so the evil Jet Li was hiding in the air duct in the first part as well.
It's funny though because the evil Jet Li like always picks the worst times to try to kill Gabe or like any.
I'm gonna wait until he's surrounded by cops to make my move.
Yeah, it's just like wait till he goes home.
Well, the time cops also have evil Jet Li several times throughout this movie and don't shoot him. Maybe because they know he can survive bullets.
Well, they don't want someone to have the ultimate power.
Yeah, because
I
if they
think
kill
it's-
him, then good Jet Li is going to.
So they're trying to just put him in prison.
They put him in the Hades universe, in the Stygian penal colony, where you have no chance of escaping. So yeah, it's kind of confusing because he's shot in this scene. He kind of like Gabe, I mean, and then he kind of passes out, and then So we see Carla
And
Gugino.
right before evil Jet Li is going to kill him, though, the two Dimension cops pop out.
Yeah.
And evil Jet Li does like a really funny serpentine thing where he's like, like moving his feet to dodge the bullets.
Yeah, he's like dancing kind of.
and then he jumps over the like bush or something.
I mean, he can do anything. Like they can shoot at him and they just go into bullet time and it goes you, and he just like moves his just like in the Matrix.
Just like in the Matrix. Yeah. But it's weird though because and I started thinking at this point, okay, like wait, so all the other Jet Lis get the power. Mm-hmm. So are you telling me that none of the other Jet Lis like realized they were like turning into like these Supermen?
They didn't have as much power, Ben, so it would only be the difference between
because it was split 3 ways before then.
But they should,
now it's only split 2 ways.
Yeah, so if you were like in the first 100 Jet Lis, it probably wouldn't be enough to notice.
Sure, but
although
you'd be like, oh, I'm sleeping pretty well these days.
Evil Jet Li noticed because that's why he started killing them.
Evil Jet Li is like super powerful right from the get-go, so all the other Jet Lis would be equally as powerful as him.
Well, you don't forget, Lawless did kick that jail cell, and it like kind of pushed in.
Well, maybe if you don't know that it's happening to you, you don't.
I wouldn't think to punch the wall, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Have you guys tried to jump 10 feet in the air? How do you know there isn't an evil Colin or evil April going around killing your clones?
Yeah.
Well, I've tried to like lift things, and I'm like, oh,
oh my back.
Yeah, be like, hey.
And you're like, oh, I got to start killing some alternate universe Collins.
Gabe like practices martial arts, so that's how he knows that he's.
Well, they both practice martial arts.
They can kind of like sense one another, and I think Jet Li does like a different style of fighting for each version, like with a
Good is like a soft version.
Well, he was almost doing like a Tai Chi thing at the end, which was against what looked like maybe Kung Fu, Shaolin,
hard style. I don't know,
something like that. Just guessing, but
so we're introduced to Carla Gugino, who is
Jet Li was shot, and he just comes home still wearing his bulletproof vest.
This scene was very confusing. So he just shows up at home.
And he goes, I need to work on myself. And by that, he means he needs to do some katas.
And she's like panicking and leaving. And she's like, oh my God, I was going to come to the hospital. And he's like, oh, I checked myself out. So as an audience member, you're like, okay, well, this is the bad Jet Li, right?
No. And then later when they go to the hospital, he lies about having gone home. And I don't know why. Did I just miss something?
Yeah, it's very weird. And these cops that are waiting for him at the hospital, like his buddies, the movie...
Carla's his wife, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned
Carla Gugino's married to him. She's a vet.
RG or something like that.
So the 4 cops that are at the hospital that are his friends, the movie makes it seem like there's something wrong with them or they're bad guys for some reason.
And they're not.
They never turn out to be.
But it seems like they are going to turn, or like they were secretly working for the evil Jet Li all along or something.
Yeah, there's something off that's set up multiple times. But
maybe there was something that was cut.
There was going to be some reveal. I don't know, whatever. But somehow he shows up at the hospital and just immediately gets an MRI. Like, do you have to?
Yeah, right.
Give me a break.
Not in the American health system.
They have free.
There's a really funny scene
healthcare.
where, as we've done, in the United States,
in this
universe.
Yeah, that's true. As we've all done, he opens the door and is startled by his mirror. He's like, another me.
Awesome. I love stuff like that. There's a few like jump scares in this movie.
He can kind of like sense. So he's sort of like panicking and he's seeing visions of the other Jet Li like around the hospital in mirrors and stuff like that. But they go into the MRI room, and MRIs are basically just giant magnets. And
we all saw in Terminator Genesis.
The classic, the best Terminator film, some would argue.
Some are saying that it's the best one of all.
James Cameron did an interview where he's like, this is the best since T2, which he has literally done for every new Terminator release.
He puts his hand out.
Where's my money?
Put a big check in.
You think Avatar movies are cheap? Sure, they make $1 billion. Doesn't cover it, though.
So when you go for an MRI, you have to take off anything metal. You can't have like a pacemaker. Anything metal inside you will literally get torn from your body going into one of these things. They can't even keep metal in the room or in the vicinity of these machines. Mm-hmm. People have been killed by like an oxygen tank being pulled across a room into an MRI machine. That's how dangerous they are. Everything in this fucking room is made of metal. Like they keep telling him.
And also, if you shoot a bullet into an MRI machine, gigantic mist will fill the room.
Where did that come from? And that keeps happening throughout this movie. Smoke or Mr. Steam just flies out of things.
Or sparks.
The sparks.
We'll get to
We can
that.
tell a tale. Evil Jet Li shows up.
And they have kind of a cool fight scene. It's not the coolest.
No, but like Delroy Lindo and Jason Statham always show up at the same time. They have a gunfight in this MRI room. I don't know. The gun kind of gets pulled into the MRI machine. That's kind of fun, I guess. I don't know.
It was fun. I like MRIs being used in action scenes. And I think this might be the only second time I've seen it.
It's like a very niche thing.
I bet you.
I feel like it happens. I can think of
There's gotta be
nothing
more.
specific, but I can picture it in my mind.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's happened in other movies.
It might.
Like Terminator Genesis.
Yeah. Was the Terminator Genesis like the crowbar or whatever? Somebody lifts up like a...
No, I think the person is made of
Yeah,
metal,
he's
aren't they?
like
So
a
they like
nanobite,
Yeah.
like Terminator.
And he gets his whole like skin kind of
yeah.
pulled off.
not to be confused with the robot on T2, which also there's a giant magnet at one point and she gets sucked onto it.
Wait, in T3.
You mean T3?
T3,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's what I meant.
She does. Mm-hmm. Doesn't it happen in the...
There's only so many Terminator-based
It's a
ideas, I
junkyard,
guess.
isn't it?
No, it happens at
Actually
the end of
never
the
saw
movie. I don't remember.
I just had a feeling that it was
yes.
a junkyard.
mirrors.
The classic part where
Or
we try to
magnets.
remember what happens in Terminator movies.
God.
All right, let's go on with the
Too
movie
many.
because there's a funny scene here, and I know this because as a teenager, I listened to the commentary on this movie where Jet Li gets arrested by his cop friends, and then he uses their handcuffs against them, and the directors are like, these handcuffs are like 10 times the size they're supposed to be. Like, they're so long. And then his co-writer is like, yeah, it's because they're in another dimension. That's why. And then
course.
he laughs.
I
There
love
you
it
go.
when you can just explain things away like that. But
Yeah.
it's true. Like, in order for him to kind of use them kind
Because
of
he like cuts their hand behind their back. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like 3
Yeah,
times as
and,
long.
he's like badly ADR'd, like, no, it's the real me, it's gay.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to hurt them, so yeah, he kind of like ties them up. And then we get a scene where it's like a morgue scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
with Mr. American Movie himself,
Mark
isn't it?
Borchardt
I was like,
shows
is
up.
that Mark Borchardt? It is.
It is.
Why is he in this movie?
I don't know.
Yeah, James
maybe-
Hong's a big fan. I don't know.
Yeah, and the other person
Sure.
is Glenn Morgan's brother, who is an actor who was on the X-Files. I think he played like that leech man or whatever.
I never watched
I don't know. I just thought I recognized him, but whatever.
Emily's watching the X-Files now, so, you know,
I gotta start watching the X-Files.
still popular.
Yeah, should we start watching the X-Files?
I think so.
I haven't seen
it.
My dad watched it a lot when I was a kid, but I
Yeah.
never dedicated myself to it. I'm more of a Robert Patrick man myself, so once he comes in like season 7, that's when it gets good.
Oh. I've seen like a bunch of episodes, but you know, not like
I don't know if I've ever.
And sat through the whole thing.
Back when it was on, I think I watched a couple.
if they were on. Yeah, my friends would watch it so at work, and then so I'd walk by, and I was familiar with stuff. So here's the scene. I guess this is like Jason Statham exposition scene that is so horrible. He's explaining
I can barely
everything.
And they just do it
understand it.
in like a weird place in the hospital. I think they just walk into a closet and they're like, let me explain it all to you.
Yeah, and they're walking everywhere, and they keep cutting away to other scenes and cutting back, and he's like still explaining stuff to him. And then by the time the scene ends, like they're in like a subway or something. I don't know how long they've been walking and talking. But Jason Statham's accent, oh my God.
Wait,
It
is this the scene where he, Gabe like hangs him over a
Yes.
balcony? And he's like, "Ah, rah, rah, rah." I can't understand a
You
word
can't
he's
understand he's
saying.
saying, oh, you're a good call. Oh,
Yeah, so
my
then we
God.
get, of course, more explanations. It's stuff that we've already gone over. How that's why you've been feeling. You can sense each other. They all get stronger. There's only so many left, and then
It's intercut with Delroy Lindo. He ends up, so yeah, Jet Li escapes from the bad Jet Li. He escapes from the hospital, and he's in a car, and he's like listening to all this cheesy music.
country. No,
And then he switches it to
70s
the
soft
new
rock?
metal channel.
Yeah,
What's playing?
Yeah.
What was
No,
it?
but what's playing? What song is it?
I think it was another Papa Roach song or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't
I mean,
actually.
which track? There's so
I
many
thought it
great
sa-
ones we can't pick.
I thought it sounded like the Deftones, but I didn't see that in the credits. So.
Oh, man, if a ska song started, now I'm all into it.
But what's funny though is that Evil Jet Li like bobs his head and comments just when I found something I liked.
Yeah, Delroy Lindo pops out of the
Specifically,
backseat.
I'm surprised he didn't just say the words "new metal."
What is this new metal?
What is this new metal I'm hearing? It's newer than I'm used to.
Yeah, so he and Delroy Lindo get into a fight. This is intercut many times with the Jason Statham exposition scene. It's very confusing. Delroy Lindo, yeah, it's
Is
weird.
this the death of Delroy Lindo?
Tune in next week.
Is this where he has the bomb? I think it is. Like, I mean, beforehand, like he had a convo with Jason Statham in that darkened hospital room you mentioned.
That closet. They look like
Justin.
they're going to make out.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
he's just like, I'm going to make the ultimate
Oh,
sacrifice.
yeah, I have a magical bomb.
I've got a
I'll make an
magical
ultimate
bomb, yeah.
sacrifice.
When this,
Yeah.
like, you go sync it up with your watch, when the red light on your watch goes off, that means I'm dead.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And yet his plan fails because he gets his ass kicked by Evil Jet Li.
But how he's like going one-on-one with him for
Yeah.
quite a while,
He
like
should have
holding
come
his
up
own.
with some kind of cleverer plan. I mean, it's like you're fighting the Predator at this point. You can't just have a fight. And Statham does it later too.
It's very strange.
But yeah, so in other words, he detonates the bomb, but it doesn't get a chance to go off before Jet Li
He grabs it and then like kind of disarms it.
disarms it. And
right as these police, the motorcycle cops show up.
Oh God.
We get a very funny fight scene with as Jet Li is like swinging these.
Picks up the motorcycles.
It was
up
like
the
that
CG
episode of The
motorcycles.
Simpsons.
I think you kind of see this in the trailer.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
when Homer's a biker and they have a...
Homer has a bike fight with John Goodman, I think, biker.
Oh, is this supposed to be like a knife fight? But it's like
But they're
Yeah,
just-
but they pick up... It's like a sword fight, but they pick up...
Very similar to this movie, except Jet Li at one point picks up two motorcycles, and they just look like cartoons.
Yeah,
it just didn't look.
he
good,
kinda sandwiches,
but it was
uh,
funny.
Wait. So the guys look good. These motorcycles bad, though.
I thought
can't-
those guys were real. I didn't know they were CG
I,
earlier.
Justin, you never know with this.
You never know.
this
It's like
person.
rolling the dice.
It's like 20-sided dice.
Hello,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm April, and I
April the 20-sided
this
dice.
movie.
It's Mansky.
I thought the
Sometimes
effects
you
looked
just gotta enjoy things for
bad.
what they are. Bad,
And
good.
are you talking about yourself?
Yeah.
Oh my god! So yeah, we're back at the hospital.
funny.
Carla Gugino with these four cops who the movie is telling you something's off with these guys, right?
Like they seem so menacing and
Yeah.
bad.
They seem creepy. Like they're not making inappropriate comments to her, but it's like you can sense that they are going to.
Yeah,
it's
the-
weird.
it's very
I guess it's
weird.
body language and how it's shot.
And they will not let her leave the hospital like alone. She's like, "It's okay. I'm just gonna go home." No, it's fine. The guy like grabs her arm, like, "We're taking you home."
She protests like several times, and so she's like, "Okay."
So they like take her home. I guess they think that Gabe is hiding out at the house or something like that. So they take her home. They like bring her up to the bedroom, and you're like, "What the hell is gonna happen here?"
And she's like, "Can I have a minute of privacy?" Okay, but I'm gonna be right outside the door if you need.
Yeah,
Basically.
this is a very weird. So she kind of like sees blood in the sink, so she kind of gets a hint. She thinks like Gabe is home, and then she opens up the attic door.
Which is in their bedroom, which is weird.
Very very funny scene where Jet
It's a jump scare.
Li's head just pokes out.
And so we find out that this is actually not Gabe, it's Evil Jet Li. How did he know to go there? There's no explanation for why. I guess he was just poking around. Also, how did he get the address to his house?
Well, he says to her like, "I need my weapon. Go get me my weapon." So she gets him a gun out of the drawer, and then I'm like, "Why is he just still up in the attic?" Like, I don't understand. He doesn't need a weapon. Like, this makes no sense. So she
Like
sees,
he's so powerful. He could like
I don't get it.
just use his
He
fists.
could just crush her head.
And then she sees another Jet Li outside, like on a rooftop. And then she's like, "Oh my God, like which is which?" And then she says like, "Oh, remember when we met at the bookstore?" And he's like, "Yes." He's like, "It wasn't a bookstore."
And she should have just ran
And
away.
then he's still just standing there, his head poking out. And he's like, "I'm going to take the gun and kill you." Like, what?
And then he does it like in front of the window so Gabe can see. And I guess that evil Jet Li does this in order to give Gabe incentive to come fight him because he wants him to fight him because he wants to kill him.
I guess he doesn't want to hunt him down.
I guess that makes sense, but it was total downer.
Yeah, so he's like running
Poor
and then
Carla
bumps in,
Gugino.
Yeah, he's all like upset, and then he bumps into Jason Statham again. Driving.
He's not really good at acting upset. I mean, he punches like the interior of his
What do you
car.
mean he's so upset? He's grimacing. You can definitely tell it's him.
Yeah.
That it's,
He is punching the rubber dashboard in Jason Statham's car, and it's they add these really bad like metal creaking sounds, but it's like just
That's how you
clearly
do
rubber. It's really funny.
And then they have more exposition.
Well, they pull up at a gas station, and then we meet like alternate universe Delroy Lindo.
I liked that.
And then Jason Statham's like, oh, good to see you again, mate. And like, oh, I just want to thank you.
Yeah. They have a little moment, and he's like, I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So they drive off, and then we get the final showdown in the factory, which was heavily played in the trailer.
I could see that. But so we have, this is like an extended like Jet Li versus Jet Li fight.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really well choreographed. They're obviously, whoever was doing the stunt doubling is really, really good at martial arts. I should have looked it up who it was. Because
Probably Jet Li stunt double.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is Jet Li's stunt double though? Is
I don't know, some guy.
Anybody famous?
No.
I mean, famous in the stunt world.
Sven Lee.
Yes, Sven Lee. Lawless.
Yeah.
He's the dreadlocks Jet Li.
What was the dreadlock Jet Li name?
I can't remember.
Probably like
Something
Surf Law or something like that.
Yeah.
My only thing about this is like the factory doesn't play as much. Like I wish they used the.
Well, Jet Li
space a
hits
little
something
more.
and steam flies everywhere at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, but we see like these moving cogs, and you're like, someone's
Oh,
gonna.
you
get,
want him to be like
Yeah.
trapped on the on like the conveyor belt? And he's like, oh no, the knife.
Dude, what would happen if one of them was in there and then it broke the machine because he's so powerful? That would
Yeah.
be cool, right?
Well, yeah, it's because they're so
They
giant.
didn't
I was
do that.
expecting one of them to get kicked in there and just like ground up like meat or something like that.
Like in the
It's like
Halloween
Chekhov's cog.
movie. Chekhov's cogs. So,
Like
yeah,
a
nothing
Halloween
happens
movie.
with that. They set off the bomb and then like it like melts a room, but you know,
Nothing really happens.
Nothing really happens with that either. Then he's just in another part of the factory. Statham, he like has a broken arm and leg, so he's like lurching around like
He's like,
Igor.
my leg.
Yeah, he can't really move.
No, you have to do it in an American accent. Oh, my leg.
But yeah, so the fight kind of goes on and on, but it's all really good fighting, so I enjoyed watching it.
It's well cut. Like they kind of hide the double stuff, and they kind of use.
Well, he takes his jacket off so we can tell who is who. They
and they do a good job, I think, of hiding the double's face.
I think they did
a lot.
great. Yeah.
With the odd like VFX shot of the two of them facing off, used very sparingly. It's kind of well done. And then we get the sparks. My God,
Sparks everywhere, CGI and regular.
yeah.
Or
It's
are they
actually,
all CGI? I don't know.
They're all CGI, I
yeah.
think.
Because he
They wanted to do it for real, and they're like, yeah, this ain't going to
It
work.
would hurt them. It would set their hair on fire potentially.
It'd
right?
probably be dangerous, yeah. But they have a good scene where he kind of walks through the shower of sparks and they're bouncing off his body. and stuff
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
it did look computery, but I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's because the sparks are moving slower than they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's the thing.
Cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
I will say
It does kind of look like an episode of Sliders.
Well, I was
Like
going to
when you're
say
watching that,
a lot of this
don't
movie
you dare
looks-
disparage Sliders.
A lot of this movie looks like a
Don't look
music
into my
video.
politics.
There's a lot of 90s music videos that look,
Oh, yeah.
look like this movie.
Oh, big
like
time.
some 9 Inch Nail thing.
Well, now we get
Yeah.
into like they're playing new metal right over the soundtrack as
Yep.
they're fighting.
More new, I mean, there's new metal throughout this whole movie, which I liked.
So Jet Li, he changes styles a little bit and kind of defeats Bad Gabe. He's going to kill him with the axe, but then no, he's got to save him. So he saves him from the explosion. And I guess like a portal is going to open up.
And so the only reason Statham is there is just to just look at his watch. Okay, 30 seconds left. And then he goes over and grabs them, and then they all go blah, again. And then they're sent back to...
They're back at Time Cop HQ.
Cop world.
But Good Gabe's shirt catches on fire, so he has to take it off. So now they both look exactly the same.
Oh, no.
I'm the real one. No, I'm the real one.
Should have done that.
Like Captain Kirk when he like points to his double. I'm the real Kirk. Shoot him, and he's pointing like 12 inches above the guy's head.
Was that one of the movies?
Yeah, it was Star Trek 6.
6, yeah, that's right.
There's a
That's
good
a good
screen grab
gag.
of it. He's pointing way above the
Wait,
other
isn't that like shoot over his head, or am I thinking of something else?
No, I think it was because he didn't know where.
No.
They didn't have the
William Shatner has been legally blind for 70 years.
Yeah, they didn't have like the tennis ball on a stick. on
Right,
set.
right.
Yeah, so they get back to Time Cop HQ. They just like immediately grab the wrong Jet Li and
They're
put
like,
him.
let's go.
You're
They
going-
don't even check.
You're going to the penal colony, and then Jason Statham sees like the. He takes off his like wedding ring earlier in the movie with Carla
Yeah.
Gugino. You can see like a tan line. He's been wearing it.
Yeah, so he has a wedding ring mark.
Yeah,
and
and
he
then
goes, no! And I didn't think he was going to get them on time, but he did.
He's the wrong one. Guy this one.
And they believe him, and they're just like, oh, okay. And then not only that, so they send.
It's like, can we
Jet
just
Li-
take our time, maybe? Do we
Yeah.
need to
Do
transport
you
him
have to do
right
this
away?
Right now? Yeah. So they send him away.
Yeah, there may be another rat with giant balls coming down the way.
Yeah, maybe they're just
This
like,
time
well,
it's like
last
6
time.
feet tall.
Yeah,
It's
they're like, we can't wait for-
It's
we
got
can't
a,
wait for rats.
boombox on his shoulders.
But then like Statham is like, okay, well they're like, we got to send Gabe back to his own universe. It's protocol. It's the law. And he goes, he's gonna get killed. You can't do that.
Or he's going to be arrested
He's
for
gonna be
all
arrested.
the crimes that the bad Jet Li caused.
And they're like, well, we don't care.
yeah, they're like, he's like, it's okay.
Okay.
And then they just let Jason Statham like.
He's like,
take-
wait a minute, I know the address. He's like, I know the IP address. And like, oh, sorry, go ahead. So it's just so weird. They
like,
just,
I'll allow it.
yeah. So we all know what's gonna happen. He's like, I know exactly where he needs to go, and he sends him to a alternate universe.
Which is like so wacky.
So what's weird about that is that like it's not your wife. She may look like your wife,
Yeah.
but
At least he has the hope, though, that maybe one day he can romance her.
well, at least she doesn't
again.
have like tentacles or something.
yeah, well, we don't know yet.
Yeah, you're
like
right.
she could.
This futuristic world, everyone wears bright colors, and that's kind of it.
That's the joke.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
a
like
joke?
yeah,
And the
then
cars
they had,
are a little
They had
weird.
the sign. It was like "Welcome to L.A., like the cleanest city in the world." And it's
Yeah.
like a cartoon. Looks like a cartoon or something. It's like Demolition Man or something. But
Or it looked like this,
That's
like
exactly
this
what it looks like.
Scooby-Doo movie or something.
Yeah, that too.
All around the
Well, that's
same
just what the 2000s look like.
Yeah,
like it's no
exactly.
different. Even though there's a kid with blue hair when he runs into the vet place.
yeah.
Yeah, which is
It'd be great if like everyone has huge testicles. like every dog, every person.
Oh, I'm in a nightmare.
Or I love it.
I guess
I mean,
they could have
evil
to get
Jet
bigger
Li isn't a
pants.
nightmare because he was sent to the planet of Ghost of
Oh,
Mars.
now we finally see it, and this is my favorite thing. I think this is like, if only the
end.
rest of the movie, was as crazy as this or as fun as this. But yeah, he kind of wakes up in the penal colony in the Hades universe, and it's like,
He's approached by like a bunch of character actors I've seen before, but I
Yeah.
don't know their names.
Well, they're probably shooting, I'm going to take a wild guess, Vancouver.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe. And they're like, we got a new guy, fresh meat or
Yeah.
whatever. He's like, you're gonna be our bitch, and then there's like this kind of pyramid structure, and
This
then
whole thing looks like something from Mortal Kombat movie.
yeah, it does.
That's exactly. It looks like the ending of Mortal Kombat or the beginning of Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah. So Jet Li like gets up on this thing and he's like, I am Eula. I am nobody's bitch. You are mine. And he's like, I'm gonna be all I don't know any of you, but you're gonna know me. And then they just all like rush him. And
What's
it's just
weird
like,
about this pyramid is it looks wild when it pulls out,
Yeah.
but in reality, it only has like 4 steps because you keep seeing the floor of it.
yeah, there's not that many. They kind of extend it in CG or
It
something.
doesn't make sense that this is a prison, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's just like a great like
ridiculous.
final pull out, like
And
one
then
big
as
shot.
it's pulling out, you hear, cut my life into pieces.
Yeah, Papa Roach.
This is my last reason.
as he's like
Roach's biggest
fighting
song.
just like swaths of
Yeah,
people.
and
like,
you see them all like they multiplied, I think, millions of people.
yeah,
There's
they're just like there's
of
hundreds
people.
of these people rushing him, and he's just like fighting all these guys. It's great.
And just to remind you, Ghost of Mars, they use a John Carpenter font at the end for some reason.
That's right. Oh
Ghosts
man,
of Mars. Was that before this?
Uh,
It was around the same time.
Around the same time, yeah.
I don't know
I'm
what
gonna
year
look.
specifically.
can't remember.
Was it 2000?
This is 2001.
Yep, 2001. So
Same
it was the
year.
year of and 2 Jason Statham's
Wow.
in both movies.
And he's playing pretty similar characters.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it was two Jason Stathams
Oh, it's like the 1-2. It's all Jason Statham.
Yeah, and like one was
Surprised
like
they didn't do that.
One was like Cockney, and one had this like shitty New York accent.
like why didn't they make like, because this movie failed, but why wasn't there like a direct to TV streaming or DTV sequel with Statham's
The 1-2?
character, same character, only
Well, I think Jason Statham got a little too big.
Yeah.
So.
the 1-2. That's
Yeah.
funny. That's funny. It's also a pun. Like, I'm gonna give him the old 1-2.
the old one.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
This movie's over.
The one again, or just
The one continued.
The two.
Or
The
two.
one more time.
Once more.
Daft Punk soundtrack. Okay.
It's all from new metal to all Daft Punk. They went from Tron Legacy to the
Yeah.
one more time.
That'd be great.
One
I'm surprised.
more time, and it plays like 10 times, like White Fire.
I'm surprised they didn't make like a TV series out of this because didn't they make one of Time Cop? Wasn't there a Time Cop TV show?
There was a Time Cop sequel. It's like the Berlin Decision or something like that.
wanna
I have
say
it
there was
starring
a-
Jason Scott Lee.
Berlin Decision.
Yeah.
Man, it feels like they're making TV series out of everything now. There's like
Oh yeah, so there was a '90s Time Cop TV show that
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't work on, Colin, because it lasted from 1997 to 1998.
it might have actually been good,
If
which,
it was
which
made
would
in
explain why I
Canada.
didn't work on
Starring Ted King. Oh, I don't know who that is.
it. Was it shot in Toronto?
Let me
They
check.
reused all the sets from Tech
No,
War.
Los Angeles, California, USA.
Wow. Okay.
Los
well,
Angeles again.
It obviously
It
had
only
a-
lasted 9 episodes.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
That feels like, oh wow, it was created by Alfred Goh and what's the other guy? He has a Miles Miller who do like a million things. They did like Into the Badlands, Smallville.
Oh,
They wrote
okay.
a draft of Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Oh, they did Wednesday. They're the showrunners on Wednesday
Oh,
too.
no shit.
Oh my
Well,
god.
there you go.
And they started with Time Cop.
Wow.
Wait, did they start with Time Cop? Yes, that was their first TV show. And they did the story for Lethal Weapon 4, so it's a closed loop.
You know, Justin, every journey has a first step.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But there is not one universe. There are many.
There are
multiverse.
So, would you guys recommend this movie? I think it would be fun for a
Nah.
bad movie night with friends.
There are so many better movies you could watch.
Yeah,
I found it amusing, but yeah, it's definitely kind of like a B tier as far as like put on a bad action movie to laugh at with your friends. But I had a good time.
mostly just dull, I think.
I think it's worth seeing. But I also
I don't think it's wacky enough, and that's one of the big issues I have with it.
you're absolutely right. It could go a lot further.
Imagine if it was like Wesley Snipes or something.
Oh yeah, and he's playing every role. Like, oh, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
I will say I like Jet Li, and I think he did a fine job being two different characters, but he's not the most charismatic action star. But I haven't seen his other movies, so maybe he is better in other movies.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like, English is not his first language. So
Yeah,
it's
so I was
like,
saying
obviously
maybe
you're
in
gonna-
one of his movies.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in China. They're great.
Yeah.
Check them out. There's 6 of them. In the 6th one,
Holy shit.
he goes to America and teams up with a cowboy.
Oh, shit.
Fantastic. Okay, so this movie's on iTunes.
I think it was on iTunes. Yeah, we couldn't find it anywhere
it's a
streaming.
little difficult to find.
I
I think it might be streaming in CTV app with ads.
If you wanna
for
watch
it.
those
You Canadian
Canadians
people out there.
Yeah, but I don't want to watch it with ads.
It's
so
not
we-
even on
we-
Tubi.
We paid the $5.
This feels like a Tubi movie too.
For sure.
I'm surprised it's not on there.
Yeah.
Also, I used to always get this confused with Ballistic X versus Severed. 'cause
Oh,
the-
God.
The,
Now that's a movie that is very
the
boring.
covers
wow.
look very similar. It's like
Yeah,
the
blue.
same. It's like blue and black.
It's funny when you choose it on iTunes, they have like related movies and they have Romeo Must Die. He's doing the exact same pose on the cover of the one. And then they also have Jackie Chan's The Medallion. He's doing exact same pose.
It's all just the algorithm.
They're all just like lined up. It's really funny.
So that's the one. Check it out if you want. But I think it's worth seeing. If you want to email the podcast, we're at no such thing as a bad movie at gmail.com. And we're on Twitter at no such thing pod. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/no such thing as a bad movie.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say no such thing
No
as the $5 level. I was going right. I was thinking about what I was going to say next.
I thought you were going to say a swear.
No such thing as a fart. Yeah, there was an F. Like no such thing as a fuck given.
If you're at the $5 level, you'll get a bonus episode, short bonus episode every 2 weeks, and access to over 100 of these episodes and commentary tracks. And we just talked about Dungeons and Dragons, horror among thieves. Honor among thieves.
Horror among thieves. It's like the thing.
Honor among thieves. That's the.
We gotta end it. April's going. She's leaving us.
I'm having trouble speaking. And if you want to find me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at April Atmansky.
You can find me on Twitter at DeCloux, DCLOUX, and the letter J, and every week on the Very Fine Comic Book Podcast, where me and my podcast co-host Mike Wood go through a new, easily accessible comic book every week.
You can find me on Twitter, Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA.
And that's it for this week. I got to go because I got to go play more Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. But thank you.
Me too.
Thank you for joining us. And that's it. I'm April Atmansky.
I'm Justin DeCloux. That's it.
I'm Colin Cunningham.
There will be only one.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.